But we begin tonight with striking evidence that 24 hours really is a long time in politics. This time last night, embattled National Party MP Todd Barclay made a brief and qualified apology for misleading statements. Then he walked off from a stunned media pack without taking any questions. We put it live to air, and it's fair to say almost everyone was surprised by the extent to which a resignation didn't appear to be imminent. But just after lunch today, after what have clearly been robust discussions behind closed doors in the Beehive, the 27-year-old Clutha Southland MP released a statement effectively chucking in his political career. Here's our Deputy Political Editor, Chris Bramwell.
Todd Barclay has been under pressure to resign after controversy over secret recordings he's accused of making of a staffer in the Gore electorate office. The staffer, Glenys Dixon, resigned last year and received a payout as part of a confidentiality agreement. But it was yesterday that Mr Barclay was forced to apologise for making statements about the matter that put him at odds with the Prime Minister. Bill English says he didn't speak to Mr Barclay about leaving Parliament or ask him to resign. He was asked whether anyone in his office put any pressure on the first-term MP to leave.
Look, he discussed the issue with a whole lot of people, including senior colleagues. That's exactly what you would expect. I didn't discuss it with him, and he's made a decision which I think for a young man it's a very difficult decision, but it's the right one, and I think it comes from him understanding that the way these circumstances have evolved just put him in a very difficult position.
Neither the Prime Minister nor anyone in the party can force an MP to resign, but they can convince them to go, which is what's likely to have happened. National goes into its annual conference this weekend, and with the election just 3 months away, the party will have been keen to see this matter dealt with quickly. Mr English says he doesn't think it's been damaging for National.
These sorts of issues arise commonly in politics, and this one has been dealt with, I think, pretty decisively, principally because of the decision by Mr Barclay to stand down.
In Parliament, just minutes later, the Labour Party leader Andrew Little turned the spotlight firmly onto Mr English and his handling of the matter.
Is it an acceptable moral standard for the former Finance Minister to say on Radio New Zealand on the 1st of March 2016 that he was not aware of any specific problems between Mr Barclay and his former staff, when in fact he was aware that Todd Barclay had recorded Glenys Dixon?
After some objections to the question from National's Leader of the House, the Speaker finally ruled that Mr English had to answer.
Well, Mr Speaker, at the time the matter was under investigation, and in fact the facts of it had not been established, despite some of them covered by a confidential employment settlement to which I was not a party, and they were under investigation by the police. And at the time I was not sure what I could or couldn't say about that.
Andrew Little had another go.
Given that according to the former Prime Minister, former Finance Minister Bill English, quotes, just said a couple of his former staff members had left, that was it, end quotes, is it acceptable that he covered up this incident from the Prime Minister?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, allegations of a cover-up are ridiculous. The statements made to me regarding this were reported to the relevant party official, that's on the record, and then to the police. It's a weird world where the Labour Party says that reporting a matter to the police is a cover-up.
Also in question time, the Green Party co-leader James Shaw asked the Police Minister Paula Bennett whether the electorate staff member who claims she was secretly recorded was threatened in any way.
Has she or any other minister, including Bill English, discouraged police from investigating the allegations that a National Party board member threatened Glenys Dixon and encouraged her to drop the complaint against Todd Barclay?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
As the Minister of Police, they have statutory independence. I know of no such incidences, so no.
The Senior Cabinet Minister Judith Collins says it's a sad day, and she's been keeping in touch with Todd Barclay over the last couple of days.
Todd's phoned me a couple of times, and I've just given him the support I would to any colleague who was going through tough times. But I'm very aware he's a very, very young man to be in a place like this, and it's really tough politics.
Other senior colleagues and support party leaders also felt for Todd Barclay.
It's a sad decision for him, but I think the right one.
Would have thought that he had a long parliamentary career before him serving his country, and now that's not true. I just hope he's got other chapters in front of him.
I sent him a text saying tough day at the office. Because I think you should support people at a human level, but ultimately what he did was wrong.
Really, really tough decision for him. A really sad day.
Todd Barclay himself was lying low at Parliament today, where he'll remain until the general election. The National Party will now have to reopen for nominations for the safe blue seat of Clutha Southland. Atu i te whare parimata mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Chris Bramwell ahau.